Everybody rock your body. Damsels in Dicestress is back. New, 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 new. Anyway.
Hiya.
Hello.
Hi. Hiya.
Yeah, no new news. Nothing cool to report. All good. We play D&Ds. Very good. Yes. Much D&D.
Much D&D.
Yes. Fun facts.
Oh, I'm not prepared for this.
Okay, cool. Fun fact about Jonathan is
Which one?
all of them.
Every job.
They all have an abnormally large pinky toe on their left foot.
Is that the fact?
Yes, not large, but like longer, so it sticks out a little bit further than the others. Or at least the one.
Every single Jonathan in our world.
Yeah.
If I legally changed my name to Jonathan, would my pinky toe just
Yes.
grow?
If you were in Damsels in Dicestress universe.
Yeah.
Demons and daughters. Banana. Fun fact about Talia: her middle name is Penelope, after her grandmother.
Cute. Did we do those?
I feel like I've not
Okay.
said that.
We haven't.
Okay, well, a fun fact about Rosalind that is actually a really boring fact is that her middle name is Elizabeth.
After the Queen?
No. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Like, I didn't name myself.
I feel like it would be named after. I mean, technically you did. You were.
After Elizabeth I.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Frederick and Georgiana named.
Sure. Okay, then as Frederick and Georgiana, your middle name is to add a little sort of
Rank.
Regality.
yes.
Fun yet boring fact about Agatha is she doesn't have a middle name.
Grandmother on her mother's side, to specify.
It's true. Martha does not believe in middle names. They are frivolous and unnecessary.
Yeah.
Albert's got a middle name, I bet.
He probably does. I wouldn't be surprised.
Albert's probably got like
10,
7 names, yeah.
Albert doesn't have a middle name.
Okay.
All right.
No, he does.
What's Archibald and Edwin's middle name?
Yeah, I bet they've got like 2 each as well.
They've got 7.
Yeah. Archibald has a long fucking
Archibald
name.
is one of these. Sir Archibald Penhallow of Bledlow.
Yes.
Sir Archibald Frederick William Penhallow
Grayson
the
Penhallow.
Third. Wait, no, he's not the third, is he? Because he's.
Oh, he probably is. I don't know. They probably have had other Penhallows called Archibald.
I made pastries. It's very Talia core of me.
I did not make macaroons.
I didn't contribute anything.
I will get back to you with their names because I've forgotten them.
Okay, I think that it's my headcanon is that Archibald has like 7 middle names. Edwin has like 5.
And you only have one.
Yeah.
That would be silly.
Because you're a mere woman.
Okay, Jonathan. We do a recap, yeah.
Go on then.
Well, do you
Thank
want
you
to
for.
start?
No, you volunteered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I always
Nope.
do it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You remember what happens best.
Yeah.
So, we got back from the pocket dimension at the start of the last episode. Talia went bonkers, rightfully so, at Jonathan for, lying to her whole life. Jonathan said, this isn't going to be an unbiased recap, by the way. Jonathan said some very rude things about all of us and was a misogynist, as every man in England is in this day and age.
That you like to use
Mere female,
No,
the
no,
mere
no.
female line.
when talking about
his
burden. That's
Oh no, I have to say that out loud to do the recap.
Taint.
No, I have to say the thing.
Oh shit.
So Jonathan explained a little bit more about the Fraternitas Custodum and how it works. He told us about being marked by whatever this thing is that's hunting us. Apparently this thing only moves at night and we're safe to go out in the daytime.
Also thinks.
So he thinks. I don't enjoy that. He also told us, well, he wanted to just tell Talia, but he told us.
Well, he didn't even want to tell Talia, to be honest.
Yeah.
He was scared of her.
Yeah, as he should be, because Talia punched him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I did do that.
It was very hot.
I did do that.
I did do that. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
You told us the story that Gilbert turned into a beast like I do, and sometimes you lose control, and he killed Amelia. But it wasn't his fault.
And throughout all of that, Jonathan kept talking about his burden of keeping this secret from Gilbert for years, because Gilbert obviously can't know. So that was not fun. And then we eventually, despite being little stubborn bitches for a bit, decided that it was safer to stay at the Fraternitas Custodum underground lair at Temple, because we didn't want to hurt anyone at the Velvet Masquerade. So we went back there, we said goodbye to everyone, packed up our things, but with the understanding that we'll be coming back to check in. They'll still be helping us investigate.
I left a lion's head.
Oh yeah, very generous after you wanted it really badly.
I did.
Agatha had a really nice goodbye with Thomas twice.
And again.
Why is he just
Just wanted to fill up water.
Bro.
Carry on.
And Thomas invited... Well, you invited Thomas to come and do more than kiss or something?
No, I invited him to Temple.
I think you'll find I invited him to Temple, actually.
But I gave him... You just said that he can come visit. I told him where he can come visit, where we're actually staying.
So Jonathan's going to love that when you sneak your whore boyfriend in to the secret underground lair.
Literally.
And I'm trying to think what else happened. We finally got a good night of sleep, or some of us did. Some of us had bad dreams about losing our mothers. And yeah, Jonathan made us breakfast, but at least, had the grace to not sit at the table with us because he could tell we didn't like him. We looked around the library for a little bit at the Fraternitas Custodum, but annoyingly everything is in Latin, which we still don't speak. And that's where we left off, just sort of waiting for Lucas to recover enough to go and talk to. We didn't find anything in the library that was
What were we looking
particularly
for
useful. Just like anything about our dads or like the stuff that we were talking about, but it was mostly all in Latin, all locked up in a glass case.
Rock your
Body right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we're in the library at the moment.
Yeah.
Aren't we? Intro.
Having failed. Oh, and I gave you her.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Fabric.
Oh, yeah.
Intro. And we're back.
Rock your body.
The table suddenly got very serious and sad, but let me set the scene for you. You're in the library, failing miserably, as women are wont to do. Hey, it's not me. It's Regency England.
There's only so many times you can use that excuse.
There really isn't. You are in this vast underground library. It's probably it's not probably about, it's 2 stories high. With those eaved, curvy, carved, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, you've made yourself a sort of space, a comfy space in the middle of the room. There's some large tables and stuff. And you've got various books spread out, none of which you understand. Some of them just seem irrelevant. And you've sort of found yourselves at a bit of a loss, I suppose. Time-wise, it's still late morning, I guess.
Yeah, that feels right.
Sorry, viewers.
Perhaps some of the things in Latin we could take back to Madame to translate.
Are you basing this off of pictures in the books?
What?
Or are you just going to take random books back and be like, what does this say?
Yeah, like the ones that seem relevant, like anywhere we can see any of our dad's or family names mentioned, and any that have like demon pictures.
Cool. Picture books then, sure.
I hardly think they're going to let us take them out of the library.
Well, there are so many books here, I'm sure they wouldn't notice.
Quite. And besides, Jonathan does not seem keen to... Well, all the progress that we made before we got here. I just thought there would be more here for us.
Yes, you would think that they would know something.
I suppose it's all quite a lot worse than we thought.
I think our best option at the moment is to simply wait for Lucas to wake up.
Yes. He's the one who's been here the whole time after all. Jonathan said he'd only been here, 4 days? Perhaps we should go and look over the completed translations of the other books that Madame was working on. At least we know there is something there, even if it is more of the same.
Mm-hmm. All right then.
So I guess we left them in our room.
Mm.
Yeah.
So we'll head back to our rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get back to our room, I grab pen and paper and I start writing a letter.
Sure.
Wow, you read that so quickly.
I wrote it so quickly. No, I'm going to write it in game.
While you're doing that, I'll go get the 2 books that she was looking at, the medieval one and the technology one, and just bring them over.
Yeah, I'm going to take my one and just start reading through that.
I guess I'll read my dad's one then.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So your dad's one with all the pictures of various demons in. Yeah, she's started to translate various bits. Each one is a sort of description that goes next to a sort of picture, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Like an encyclopedia of demons.
Yes. An infernal dictionary is what it says it's called at the front, by Colin de Plancy. Potentially based off of some sort of ancient tomb, it claims to have been. And yeah, there were various notes that, again, retranslated from your father, giving descriptions of what it was like to fight them, mentioning whether they're dead or still at large. Some of them say location unknown. Most of them are sort of marked as in hell.
As you're reading this, are you like relaying it to me?
I don't think so. If we're all doing our own things,
Okay.
I'm just going to sit with it for a minute and then, yeah, we'll share later, I guess.
Cool.
Yes, translations for the old book include a number of curses that you can purportedly
In my one.
yes. You can these are sort of rituals, some sort of blood rituals that you can enact to give yourself certain advantages during combat. She's translated one called the Blood Curse of Bloated Agony.
Does it say how to do it?
Yeah, sure. I believe, it requires cutting yourself, right?
I think so.
Or was that the Crimson Rites? Oh, that's the Crimson. I don't know how the blood... I guess the Blood Curse is like a spoken one.
I think to enhance it.
Sure. Anyway, it's your character sheet, not mine. You do the work.
Yeah, I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to know if it said it in the book.
No, I was looking at your character sheet.
Yeah, I know. But like...
Mm-hmm.
No, but...
And sure, Agatha's at a desk, writing away under the light of a candle.
So after some time of that has passed, I'll turn to the others and put the book down. It's as we thought. It's called an infernal dictionary or the infernal dictionary. I'm not sure, but it seems to be descriptions of different demons, I suppose, and Papa's notes are on. Well, some of them it says that they're dead, and some are in hell, and some the location is unknown, and some of them have descriptions of what it was like to fight them.
Do any of them look like me?
Do they? I would have noticed if one did.
They all do, in their own ways. Many of them have, like, extra limbs and wings and stuff like that. But there's a certain similarity of body shape.
It's... Well, you can have a look for yourself. They all seem quite unique. But of the same species, I suppose. I'll just push the book at you.
I just sort of look at it, but I'm not going to actually go through it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you writing?
A letter to Albert.
How much are you to disclose to him?
What does he already know?
Well, he has taken the trials, Jonathan said, which means he must know.
Well, let me read. I'm not finished yet, but let me read this paragraph to you. The three of us are at Temple. We passed the trials. Mr. Whitmore has taken care of us, and we have been informed that you are taking refuge in Sevenlock. I asked you if you have the courage to come to the Fraternus Custodium and aid in finding Father, Lord Penhallow, Mr. Bronton, and the other missing members. We need your help. Is that all right?
I think so. So long as you believe that he will not say anything to your mother. I mean, of course he cannot about any of this, but that he received a correspondence from you at all, or well, I suppose if Jonathan, I don't know what my mother would have told yours, but if you believe Albert can be trusted, then we will trust you on that. I suppose that he knows of the existence of these sorts of things and must have been trained enough to pass the trials, but I suppose he can't know too much about the situation and the disappearances and the attacks, or he must still think our fathers are safe and accounted for, to have not come looking himself, to have been content to stay safe in Sevenlock.
Well, he'll find out after he's read this, and then when he arrives, we can tell him more.
If he arrives.
I'm just going to keep flicking through the book, and I'm just really like touching my dad's handwriting and just, yeah, I'm going to reread like all of his notes and stuff.
So as you're doing all of that, you hear a sort of quiet, soft knock at your door.
I'll go open it.
Okay. You open the door hesitantly. You find Lucas is standing there. And you look down and you see at sort of waist height to him, this sort of brown with black markings and stuff, and loose, sad old skin, this large bloodhound that's by his side. He's sort of stroking the side of his head.
How tall is Lucas?
5'8". Good morning.
Good morning. I trust you are feeling better.
I'm still a little, not light on my feet, that's the wrong phrase. Little unbalanced, but feeling stronger.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
And of course I have Oliver here to keep me company. This is Oliver, by the way. He's my bloodhound.
I'm going to start petting him.
He's very friendly. He gives you a big sorry.
Bloodhounds are the ones that have like really floppy ears. Oh, I love it.
Big round floppy ears that hang down here, and like the face itself is like
Like the one from...
jowls.
Jowly.
Very jowly. I don't know of any TV shows with a dog in, but yeah.
Film.
They're the ones that are like really, really droopy.
Like Fox and the Hound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll also get up and go over.
Yeah, I've like
slightly
squatted
pet
down.
him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand. But
He's a fairly old dog. Not old, but
Does he have little grey hairs?
oh yeah. Like, you know, along just his upper lip, the little grey hairs on his upper lips, sort of going down, and then a little bit on his nose, sort of heading back, and I'm not sure how much grey-haired dogs get, so I feel like maybe a little on his ears. But you know, he still seems healthy for his age. He's not like past it, but he's not a young, spry one. And you can tell by the way he walks, which is very just slow and methodical and ploddy. Yeah.
I'm in love.
And he's just sort of he walks around the three of you, sort of sniffs all your feet, sniffs your butts a little. That's what dogs do.
Yeah.
And then just sort of plods in and just lays down in the middle of the room.
I'm going to go sit next to him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stay by Lucas. I must express to you how deeply grateful we all are. I know it was no small thing what you did for us, and well, we are very, very grateful. It was not, you did not need to, you were not obligated, and it was a very kind thing to do.
No, it's you're welcome. I'm sorry I couldn't be more help. May I come in?
Of course.
May I sit on the end of this bed?
Yes, whatever you need.
He sits down slowly. Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't be more help.
You were exceptional help. You performed a ritual you said nobody had ever done before, and, well,
Yes.
the proof of it is in the room.
Yes.
Thank you.
I was, my understanding would be that I would be able to see more, but you passed through some sort of barrier, I suppose, and I couldn't follow with so I just focused on holding it open for as long as I could. But yes, I'm glad it was long enough.
Thank you.
Glad you're all safe.
Thank you.
Yes, so, I suppose I am to help you learn to control your abilities as best as I can.
Yes.
I must inform you that I'm making it up as I go along, I suppose.
Well, it's far more than I could ever say. Well, to be frank, I have not heard of such things until very, very recently, so...
I suppose I will, I'll teach you how I do things, and hopefully some of it will work, and some of the things that I've seen others
Yes.
perform like your father.
Were there other... forgive me, but were there other sorcerers like him?
Yes, a handful, with varying degrees of power. Your father was the strongest. And I suppose that would mean that your powers would equal his with the correct training, so long as you don't, burn them out, I suppose.
Well, I'm sorry if it's terribly foolish, but you mentioned that phrase before, and I was just wondering if you could clarify what exactly that entails.
You've heard of spontaneous combustion, no doubt. Sometimes it's in the papers. A body is found just burnt to a crisp in circumstances that can't be understood.
That's what that is.
That is often the case, yes.
Goodness.
People that don't know that they have these things, it can just overwhelm them. But you know, and we will make sure that you learn to control it the way that is necessary.
Yes, thank you. Well, I shall trust that you know what is best.
I mean, I would not, but...
Well, you know more than I do.
Hopefully. Well, shall we... Now, I suppose, is better than later, because you never know when...
All right.
Yes.
Do we... Here, or would you...
Here is fine. We could just sit in the corner, I suppose.
All right.
May I borrow the candle that you are using at your desk?
Yes, pass it to him.
He takes it. He leads you off into the corner. He places the candle on the floor, on the little candlestick, and he sits down, cross-legged on one side up. If you sit the other side.
Of course. I'll sit opposite.
The key at the beginning is to sort of empty yourself of worries and ego and desires, and simply be in the moment.
And how does one do that?
Well, I was always taught that you look into the flame and you just imagine feeding your worries and things into the flame so that they're gone. It's just a simple mental exercise. It's not magical in any way. It's a simple practice that many find helps alleviate sort of more stress, I suppose.
I shall try, but I'm afraid that might take me quite a while.
It often does take people a little while to get to grips with it, but eventually you can find yourself in a very peaceful moment, and that can often then allow you to reach out within yourself to cast something such as this. And this little flame appears in his hand again. This was the first spell that I was taught, and I will attempt to teach it to you as well.
That's what Papa was doing in a portrait we found.
No, your Papa is far more powerful. He no doubt was casting a fireball, a ball of explosive fire. This is simply it's gone now, simply a flame to light the room, and in an emergency you can shoot it at someone to cause some considerable pain. Shall we?
Yes.
Go on. You sit down, and you begin this meditative process. How does that go for you?
Very, very difficult. I don't think Rosalind's brain has ever been quiet and unworried in her life.
Yeah.
This is really hard for her.
That's unfortunate. I didn't just make this up to be.
Yeah, you really. This is really. I mean, it's what she needs. So thank you. She needs to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think she's really getting anywhere.
How long does it take before you give up and kick the candle over?
She doesn't do that. She will just sit there struggling for a really long time.
Mm-hmm. So you'll try really hard at letting go?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does that not sound like Rosalind?
Mm-hmm.
A summary.
I can tell with the wrinkles in your forehead, you're trying very hard. You have to not try.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
You have to try and not try.
How did you, when you first started, did you find it difficult as well?
Yes, I mean, I didn't get it on my first time ever, of course. Have you tried counting?
As a matter of fact, yes, but...
Oh, wonderful. We could try counting and breathing. I often try counting to 4.
That's what I do.
Breathe in, and you do it with breathing?
No, I've not tried that before.
Okay, well, I always breathe like 1, 2, 3, 4 in. No, I don't mean say 1, 2, 3, 4 and breathe in, but if you breathe in while saying 1, 2, 3, 4, which I can't obviously do because
mentally.
Yes.
Yes.
And then out you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in 2, 3, 4. And if you just focus on just the sound of your breath and the candlelight and the counting, it can often be a way to keep out external thoughts. Well, I suppose they're internal, but internal thoughts about external things.
Right.
And you may find that helpful. And also to just relax the body. You don't need to furrow your brow.
Yes, I'm sorry. So I will sit and try and breathe and count and look at the flame for a bit longer.
Cool. How does that go for you?
I think it's really difficult at first because Rosalind's counting isn't really... It's never really been like... It's like it is a calming thing, but it's more of just like a really like a grounding thing. Like it's like a touchstone. It's not a like calming down. It's just a thing she reaches for in stress.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it takes some time for it to like translate from that to become actually like calming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think her mind is like empty, but I think it's a lot better than it was before. It's making more progress.
Roll a d20.
Roll 11.
Cool. Yeah, sometimes during the, say, an hour that you're doing this, you feel you're looking into the flame, and sometimes you can feel like almost like the flame is everything. And then other times you're aware that Lucas is sitting opposite you. You can hear scratching of pens off to the side sometimes. The panting of this dog. And Talia probably fussing over dog.
I'm trying not to like be distracting, but I am continually stroking the dog.
And now that the letter's finished, I'm also the dog.
Yeah. They're not trying to be distracting, but what you hear is, oh, he's a good dog.
No, you don't.
He's a good dog.
The girls needed a therapy dog, to be fair.
That's not what you hear. We're just stroking.
I assume that we're just sat there, like, just rubbing his belly and
I'm like
laughing.
on his head. I'm like not making any noise.
Well, no, I'm not making any noise, but I feel like we're both like just like laughing silently while fussing with this thing.
Oh, what do you? Yeah. So for the hour that this is happening, what do you guys make of it, or what are you doing other than stroking a dog?
I mean, I was going to leave after a little while.
Sure.
So maybe like 20 minutes into this, I get up with the letter. I'm going to leave Temple and try and find a letterbox.
Sure. Letterboxes don't exist, as you know.
Oh, I knew that.
But you're
They're like post offices, aren't
yeah,
they?
you.
Yeah, okay.
So you leave and go and find a post office for someone to send it
You
to.
tell me that you're doing that.
Probably, yeah.
That you're like leaving the area.
Well, yeah, because I've got this in my hand, so you probably make.
Oh
the
God, when you
assumption.
two go out by yourselves,
go
it
with
always
her.
goes to
Cool.
shit.
But I'm gonna like just before I go, I'm gonna like give a look to Oliver and I'd be like, "You take care of her."
He just goes. Or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, I love him.
I'm very reluctant to leave this dog. I'm very upset that you're making me leave.
I'm not. Bro. Okay. Yeah.
Sure, you head out, and since it is a busy sort of business area, there is a local post office that you can find, sort of the Royal Mail. You head in, there's a little,
I've heard of them before.
the bell dings as you head in. Ding-a-ling. And a short man with bald hair around the sides, whatever that's called, looks up. He's got some glasses. He sort of looks down over them. Yes.
Please, may I send this off?
Yes, of course. May I see the address? 7 Lock. Yes, not too far. So, yes, I believe that would be a single £1 then. And we could get that sent off. Yes, have you sent letters before?
No.
I just hand over £1.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So, postage is counted by the number of days travel it takes to deliver the letter.
Right.
And often it's the case that we can get to places such as 7 Lock within a day. So sometimes 2, but that's more of an extenuous type of situation. So we charge for what we expect. So yes, a single £1.
Thank you.
And yes, this note will do just fine. Let me write you a little receipt there as proof of purchase.
Gold.
There's a little stamp and scribbles it off. Here's your proof of postage.
Thank you.
And I will.
Hand that to Talia.
I'll put it in the pocket.
I will. Yes, that will probably be delivered. It will go out tomorrow morning, and with luck, will be delivered by the evening.
Thank you.
It's quite all right. Thank you for your patronage,
Right. Good day.
my ladies.
Thank you. I gave my last £1 to Thomas.
It's all right.
Head back.
Oh yeah, you head through the hustle and bustle of is it Fleet Street? I think.
What time is it?
11:15 ish.
Is there anything you want to do?
You can hear a church bell do that 1:15 bong.
Do we
Single
pass
gong.
any bakeries?
Sure.
I'm gonna go in.
Great.
You have like £100 from your
I've got like £300.
Just on you.
I have nothing.
Yeah, but it's like for all of us, Mum.
Have it all on you.
No.
Good morning, my ladies.
Morning.
What can I get for you?
Pastries, please.
Pastries. Sweet or savoury?
Some of each.
Wonderful. How many? 4?
How much will this buy? And I hand over £4.
£4.
Jesus.
Wow.
We'll never
probably-
have Jonathan's food ever again.
Yes, that would get you quite a lot. I presume you're not usually the one that handles the money. So our pastries are £1 each. You get 12 for £1. Again, I'm just making this up, but just feels good to me. So I suspect you don't want to buy 48 pastries.
Okay, I'll put £2 back and hand £2.10.
24 pastries. Very well.
12 sweet.
12, so a dozen of each. Cool. So we have pork or beef of the savoury ones with a little onion and some sage.
Half of each.
Very well, very well. And for the sweet ones, we have some strawberry jam pastries. We also have an apricot one. And recently we've been introducing a sort of marmalade one made with oranges from an orangery in Spain that we've recently made custom of.
Yes, I don't like marmalade. Just a mixture of the other two.
Very well, very well. Oh, and also some fresh apple tarts as well, if you were interested in those.
Yes, please.
Wonderful. I'll put a little bag together. And he turns around, starts putting a bunch of stuff in a paper bag. God knows.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Beef. 6.
No, in a little wooden box, I suppose.
4 apricot,
Crate.
4 apple, and 4 jam.
I've popped one of the orange ones and the marmalade ones in for you, just because perhaps you don't like them, but maybe some others will. And I'm just very excited to try them. It's actually from an orangery owned by a local to us, the Viscount Edward Sullingham.
Well, as my gift
It's
to
quite-
you, I'll let you have it then.
Oh, very kind. That's very kind of you. Well, here you go, and he passes you a light crate of sort of thin wood that's got everything in.
You hold the process?
Will that be all? Wonderful. Thank you for your custom.
Thank you. Good day.
Good day, madam. Miss.
I'll give a nod and head out.
Mm-hmm. Ding.
Should we wait till we get back?
All right.
Sure, you wait for the horse and carts to go across the road before you can cross.
What was that?
No, I know exactly who I'm going to give one of the beef ones to.
Is it Thomas?
No.
Is it Oliver?
It's Oliver!
I can't give him pastry.
Yes, I can.
Peel the
your
beef out
pastry,
and give it to him. Or you're going to eat all of them.
Pom.
You need your gains, to be fair.
So yeah, you head down this side road, back the way you came out in the first place. You obviously know the way there because you left and you've got your special magic mind. Few little alleys here and there, and you're back to this sort of old but solid looking house from the outside. You just it's unlocked. You head in.
The books.
Yeah.
And then we go.
What?
Oh, you've not seen that before.
Oh, have you not?
So when you left, you went up in basically a stone elevator and walked out through a bookshelf into a sort of safe house type thing. No one lives there. It's the entrance. Blah blah blah. And they'd already done it once before.
But no, you must have, because we left.
Oh, yeah,
went
when we
to-
came back
went
from the
to-
masquerade.
Yeah, and then came back.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me that there was any of that.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, there's a pattern, 4 books that you pull when it opens.
Holly thinks that's very cool.
So that's the third time you've done it then. Yeah, been out that way. Once to get the book.
Yeah.
And then to go back to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I forgot that you were not there for that. because I'd thrown you in the trash.
Okay. We go back down.
Head back towards bedroom.
Cool. I reckon that's probably taken an hour. So, what have you been up to during that time? So you spent roughly an hour maybe working on the flame stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing it.
Or another hour.
Yeah.
So she's still doing it when you get there.
Yeah. Is Lucas still with me or has he like buggered off?
No, he's still there, sitting quietly. Roll another d20.
7.
You're getting frustrated with yourself. He can sense that. I think the dog can sense it too. The dog's kind of... Oliver's come and put his floppy, drooly head on your lap. Because I presume you're sitting there cross-legged of some sort. However you're sitting, his head's on your lap.
I'm going to quietly walk in, put the crate on my bed, open it up, and I'm just going to like silently walk over to Lucas and offer him to take one.
Sure. Lucas, with his eyes closed, is just sort of...
Which one did he take?
Oh, he just took one off the top. Whatever you want. Whatever you had on top. You can just choose which one he reached for.
Have a jazz.
So,
Cool.
I take.
Spilling water again.
I take a one of the jam ones for myself and one of the beef ones.
Wow, 2.
And I open it up, take the pastry off, and put the beef in front of Oliver's face.
So like in my lap. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm like a little bit further away.
It's too late.
Oh, fuck.
So while you're sitting there, desperately concentrating on this flame, Agatha comes along, shoves a handful of meat into the dog's face. Immediately he gets, it's all over your lap, and the dog's just all in there. Oliver. Lucas opens his eyes.
I've
Perhaps
sat back
we'll-
on my bed, by the way. I like offered it to you from the bed, not next to them.
Oh.
Perhaps,
Well, maybe I've walked over then.
perhaps we'll take a break and come back to this after lunch.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
But you're doing good work to be able to sit here for 2 hours like that without interruption. Very good work.
Thank you. Have you got pastries? I'll take a jam one.
Oh, the jam is popular.
Go in.
He offered me one with marmalade made from an orangery in Spain. Or was it France?
Spain.
There's orangeries in Spain.
No, it's not.
Oh, because it's the wrong
France,
way
'cause it's
around.
the wrong
Yeah,
way.
there's vineyards in Spain.
I'll never guess who supplied it.
Surely not.
I gave it back to him. And I'll take an apple one and start eating it.
Back at the bakery, he's very happily eating on this,
Munching.
that was gifted to him by a very kind customer. Shares it with his wife. With a kiss. He gets back to work.
Cute. Rosalind is like pacing around the room, like picking bits off the pastry, eating it in a very like agitated way.
Before I eat my jam one, I eat the leftover pastry from the beef one. I'm not gonna let it go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
Do you maybe want to go for a walk?
Where?
Fresh air might help.
Yes, perhaps. All right then. Did Lucas leave or is he still there?
Did you offer him? Yeah, you offered it. Yeah, no, he left. Yeah, sure, he's gone.
He said we would start again after lunch, so I suppose I have some time.
You might want to change your dress.
Yes,
Sorry.
it's quite all right. And I'll put the other one I brought with me from home.
Sure.
sent the letter.
Good. Do you know how long it will take to arrive?
He said within a day or two.
All right. Oh, well, I just hope that he is helpful and modest about it.
I should hope so.
Did we pass any green spaces on our walk to the post office and bakery?
Sure. Some small ones.
Ready?
Yes.
Like little courtyards and stuff.
I sort of just said it out loud to the room.
Okay. All right, I come along with you then.
Bird wheeling.
And I'll start to head towards whichever one kind of looked the nicest of them.
Sure. Yeah, a few streets over, just off the main roads, you find a little one that sort of gets a lot of sun. The buildings are slightly lower in this area. Lots of flowers. It's well kept. Seems to be open to the public to enjoy. There's a couple of benches there.
I'm going to go and sit on the grass.
Mm-hmm.
See if these two follow me.
I'm going to just sort of like keep walking around. I'm still like nibbling my pastry. But I'll stop and I'll look at what flowers there are.
There are white flowers, red flowers, blue flowers, and purple flowers. Even some yellow flowers.
Wow.
Make of that as you will. I don't know flowers. Tulips. Few roses. Some daffodils, because it's spring.
Mm-hmm.
There's some...
I've been reading the repository out of game, and my brain were like, oh yeah, daffodils were really trendy in Paris like 2 months ago. That's what Rosalind canonically thinks, I guess. But I'll turn away after a few minutes of looking at roses and then come back to where you guys are.
Have you sat next to me?
Mm-hmm.
Feels odd to be out and about, doesn't it?
I just nod.
And as midday sort of comes around, Agatha, that sort of headache that you were ignoring in the back of your mind sort of moves to the front and grows a little bit more painful, especially at the temples. And you find yourself feeling a little sort of anxious with a sort of elevated heart rate an inability to sort of concentrate on things. And you have one level of exhaustion right now. It sort of hits you. This wave sort of washes over you and you just suddenly start to feel just really exhausted. Mm-hmm. As well as all the other things that I mentioned.
The exhaustion, that affects my dice rolls, doesn't it?
Disadvantage on all ability checks.
Yeah, cool.
Do we notice?
Roll insight.
You sure? Yeah, roll insight.
Lol.
11.
Rosalind is in her own world.
I feel like, yeah, you probably do notice, but it's probably just like...
You just look tired.
I just look tired and I'm just...
It's been a rough few days.
Yeah.
Are you explaining to them about how daffodils were very in fashion in Paris 2 months ago?
Probably not, like, I've probably mentioned it. Just to take my mind off other things.
Are you quite all right, Agatha?
Yes, just a headache.
Well, I suppose we ought to be going back soon anyway. I wonder if Jonathan is aware we've gone out alone.
Who cares?
Quite. Well, I should hate to be late back for Lucas, so...
All right. back then?
Yes.
Right, we'll start heading back.
Mm-hmm. Cool. When you get back, you open the front door to this house. Richard is sitting there at a table.
Richard.
No, sorry.
Oh.
Jonathan.
Very
Jonathan.
different.
Jonathan is sitting there at the table with just sitting, with his hands on his lap.
In the thing or before we've...
In the upper house.
Right. I completely ignore him and I just head to wherever I think it is to get.
Okay. Well, while you're busy ignoring him, he is speaking. I would appreciate it if you let me know if you were leaving, so that
I would have appreciated it if you'd have let me know a lot of things, but you didn't, so we shan't.
I see.
Agatha, which...
Very well.
Which is it?
And I point 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I'll do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, he steps into this room with you. This elevator, I suppose we'll just call it, because that's what it is.
I'm keeping my back to him.
This raising platform. The room is palpable. As it heads back down, and then the door opens again out onto the hallway that you can exit.
Head towards the bedroom.
I've prepared some lunch for you all.
We've already eaten.
I see. Very well, it will keep until dinner, I'm sure. Rosalind, how was your first lesson with Lucas?
I'm just going back to it now. We are focusing on the preparation for magic, I think. Clearing the mind and such like.
Very good, yes. Well, keep up the good work, I suppose. Very well, I'll be in the main room if you need anything. If I'm not there, I'll be in the library. And just as a matter of note, I'd appreciate it if any books you take off the shelves could be put back in their proper place next time. Thank you.
Did we just leave the books in the library then, just in the library? Oh.
Just all over the tape.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So I'll go back to sitting by my candle.
Okay.
Is Oliver still in the room?
No, he left when Lucas left.
Okay.
So you relight your candle and give it a go again.
Now I've just seen Jonathan, so it's now harder.
Sure. Roll with disadvantage.
Oh, that's a 5.
Nice, yeah, very frustrating.
It is in fact worse.
Yeah, so I think that's how you're going to spend your next few days, for you. Talia, sometime after lunch, Jonathan comes to the door again, knocks.
All right, I'll open it.
Talia, I think it's time we spent a little time alone and went over some of the physical issues that might arise from your condition.
I shut the door.
Okay. Next time he opens it, everyone's a bloody mess. He knocks again. He just speaks through the door. I appreciate, Talia, that I'm not your favorite person right now, but the condition that you share with your father is an area I am more or less have an expertise in, and knowing the dangers, I believe it is important that you learn to control them much sooner than later.
have a suggestion.
Yes.
Come with me. I'm going to open the door and walk past him.
Okay. Talia.
I'm going to head to any of the sort of open training rooms.
Mm-hmm. Cool. As you're walking out, Talia, you can't ignore me forever. This is an important issue that must be addressed. And so that sort of continues until you walk into one of the rooms. He follows you in.
I shut the door.
On his face.
Try and stop him getting in.
Okay, he just opens the door.
Was there no lock?
No. Talia, this is important.
We're busy.
Very well. And he leaves.
You're supposed to clear your mind,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
As if nothing else exists.
Yes.
All right. Close your eyes. And I'm gonna take one of your hands and put my other hand at your waist and put your other hand on my shoulder.
Bro.
And I'm gonna start to try and dance.
It's made easier, I think, when I start because it's just automatic for me. So.
Sure, both make a performance roll.
Oh God.
With my +7 or whatever it is.
Yeah, you, Rosalind, make a performance roll. Talia, make a performance roll with advantage because you're being helped, basically, even though you think you're helping.
17.
Yeah, also 17.
Oh, wait, no, -1, so 16.
16. Okay. Okay, so, yeah, you begin to dance. There's no music, obviously. Is one of you counting out loud? It's just in your head?
You know the music we're hearing.
Okay. So you begin this dance, this presumably a waltz or whatever it is. And perhaps 2 or 3 minutes into it, you've started to let go of everything, and it's just the dance. It's just the hand in your hand, or your hands at each other's waists, whatever. And it's the rhythmic 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever this dance goes like. And as you're doing this, with your eyes closed, did you say?
Yeah, I'm keeping mine closed.
Okay, your eyes are closed. And your mind wanders back to the flame that you were thinking of before. Or not thinking of, you were looking at it. So your mind wanders to this flame, and you see this flame in your head as you're rhythmically going through the steps of this dance. And the flame flickers and burns steadily. And you sort of move towards it in your mind and sort of into it. And this sort of flame engulfs you and gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And when you open your eyes, you're dancing by yourself. Talia's gone. And you're in a dark, black, echoey space. And your feet are wet and splashing. And you stop dancing.
Is there any sound?
Just the sounds of dripping and the sort of murmuring song that you've heard before.
Hello?
Hello, hello, hello.
Is this where I was supposed to be?
Be.
I'll start walking because that's what I
Mhm.
did the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what else to do.
You walk. You instinctively pull up the hem of your dress. and you just walk in the blackness. Again, it feels like weeks or minutes. Or maybe you've always been here. Or maybe you're not here at all. And just as you're about to almost give up with frustration and scream out, that eyeball bursts back into your vision again, and it stares right into you. And it just stares. It's 10 times bigger than you. You're standing at that little pupil. It's above you and below you at the same time. And this sort of roar of power, like a wind that isn't a wind, rushes past you out of this vision. And then you're dancing again. Talia, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Natural 20.
Cool. Yeah. You look down to see what was making your feet slip. All this blood that is trailing off the hem of Rosalind's skirts. She did not disappear for you. You've just been dancing, but suddenly there's blood all over her, on the bottom of her dress.
I'm just going to keep dancing until she stops me.
Yeah, I think when I realise that I'm back in the room, I'll stop. Was I here? Yes. It was like when I first put it on. I was back there, and I saw the same thing, only it didn't speak this time. It felt. Was I truly here the whole time?
As far as I'm aware.
Felt like so long again. I don't think that's what's supposed to happen. Lucas never said anything about that. But maybe he wouldn't know.
Didn't he say that you were different to each other?
Yes. He said that he is a wizard and Papa is a sorcerer, so I suppose maybe they don't talk about it to each other. Maybe they wouldn't know. But it was so strange. I was here, and I suppose it was working, because I wasn't worried about any of it, and I wasn't thinking about anything. And then I saw the flame again in my mind, so I tried to focus like Lucas said to, and then I was there. I suppose I ought to speak to him about it.
It didn't hurt this time.
No, but goodness, I ought to change.
Why?
Because of the blood.
What blood?
It was. How odd.
It was there.
You saw it? I shall have to ask Lucas. Thank you. I throw my arms around you and I give you a big squeeze.
Okay.
Thank you. Will you come with me to find him?
Of course.
I'm going to hold your hand.
Good.
And go. I guess he said he was having lunch, so I guess I'll go towards where the dining area was that we were at last night.
Sure. Yep. You find him there, sitting at one of the benches with the dog, with Oliver.
Lucas, might we join you for a moment?
Yes, of course.
I'll sit down opposite him.
I'm going to sit next to Oliver.
Something happened, and I don't know if it was right or not.
Okay.
I told you when I put the ring on for the first time, it was like I vanished and I went somewhere else. It was dark and empty, and there was blood on the floor, and I was walking, and it felt as though I had always been walking, but apparently in reality I was only there. Well, I was only unconscious for a few seconds, and I saw this golden eye, and it spoke to me. Well, I saw it again. I was there again, and it didn't speak this time, and there was no pain anymore. But nothing else happened either. No magic. But I was thinking about the flame, and then suddenly I was there, and there was blood on me again, quite real for a moment, and then it vanished. And well, is that supposed to happen?
I suppose so. It sounds like what you were experiencing was a sort of an echo of the past.
An echo?
I suppose you don't really know anything, do you, about the situation that we live in? Well, this may come as a shock to you, I suppose, but gods.
Gods, plural.
Yes, there used to be many, we believe, and now there are none.
Like in ancient Greece and Rome, they had many gods, did they not?
Yes, it was that sort of thing, but older still. But now, yes, there are none. Just.
What do you mean?
Just echoes and fragments. Can't.
I don't understand. I'm terribly sorry.
The war that you saw in your vision.
Yes.
Yes, they lost it.
The gods.
Yes.
But are you telling us that there is no God?
It's more complicated, but basically.
But there was, and they lost a war many years ago.
Eons ago, tens of thousands.
But that doesn't make any sense. If there's...
I'm sorry, this is probably quite shocking for you.
Well, are you saying it? There's a god, the eyeball, the thing that I see.
The fragments or echoes of one. It's where all our powers come from, ultimately. Some of us have learned to harness certain ways of extracting this power.
Like the ring?
No, the ring... Your ring is what's known as an arcane focus. It allows you to cast spells without utilizing components, physical components, such as, they use in alchemy and whatnot. It allows you simply to use your voice and often certain sort of hand signals. You know what I mean. Yes, if you saw something, sorcerers are awfully private people, so I've only overheard a handful of conversations, and they don't they haven't given me much insight into how things work for you, other than that I know that the power ultimately comes from the gods, but yes, it's within you. You are the conduit, and I guess you just pull it out of what's left. Yes, I'm not really...
When you say an echo or a fragment of a god, is that... Forgive me, but what does that mean?
I'm led to believe you can't really kill a god the way you can kill a person, where they just end. They're too powerful. But when a god dies, it often can either shatter into a million parts, or dissolves, I suppose, into a sort of shadow of itself. The stories you may have heard as a child talking about magical forests, where the forest itself seems to have its own consciousness. And that can often be perhaps the echoes. It might even be where a god once breathed his last in his consciousness, or her consciousness, I should say.
There were female gods?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, that consciousness, as it dies out and loses its ability to retain, I suppose, rational thoughts, fades into a sort of, an echo of itself. Others, we know, sort of get stuck in a sort of momentary loop of time where the only thing they know is the last thing they experienced. But yes, it's complicated.
How many gods were there?
I don't know. Hundreds, I suppose.
Goodness.
Of various sort of levels of power, I suppose. We're not quite sure who was, or if there was a sort of Zeus-like figure who would lead them. But we think there may have been a sort of an upper circle, and then sort of lower circles of gods based on how much power they had. And then we're not really sure about much else. Much has been lost, and then obviously much is kept from me. I think sort of others have much more knowledge. Sort of knowledge is not exactly shared between each other, even though I personally thought it should be. But
Quite.
yes, you know how it is. The rank and file, and then the higher ups, sort of.
Forgive me, but might there be any books by or for sorcerers about these things, if people of your kind were not told?
I mean, I suppose there must be in the library, yes, some...
And I suppose they would be in Latin.
Yes, probably some Latin. We have quite a collection of sort of ancient Persian and Greek writings too.
We have not, of course, been permitted to learn any of those languages.
No, of course. Teach you Latin? I mean, I suppose it's no more unheard of than anything. I could try, I suppose.
Thank you.
Will take some time.
But you think it was not a bad thing that I went there again? No magic came of it afterwards. It was just.
It could be, yes, as you sort of open up your mind, you're opening up a sort of a conduit, a tunnel of sorts to the source of your powers.
I see.
I suppose the next thing would be seeing if you could harness that power into a spell of some sort.
And how would I go about that?
I can try and teach you the spells that I know, I suppose.
Thank you.
This is quite about. Perhaps when I'm finished, we can give that a go.
Feel free to return to our dormitory if that is easy for you.
Very well, yes.
Thank you so much.
No, it's okay, yes. Do you stand up?
Yeah, we shall leave you to your lunch.
Well, he stands up when you stand up. Gives you
I give Oliver a little another pat on the head.
Mm-hmm. He gives a big old lick on your hands. You can taste the pastries on your hands. It's Agatha.
I've been.
Sitting by yourself
Yeah, I've
for
been.
so long.
I know.
Left alone.
What's that?
How does that feel?
Agatha's fallen asleep. She's got one
Yeah.
exhaustion level.
Yeah, I was planning on
You've taken a nap.
taking a nap. Yeah,
Cool.
I feel fine.
You don't. That nap hasn't shaken off the headache.
Okay.
I have something to say on our way back to the room, but I've got a mouthful of pastry, so...
More about
Even though I've got a level of exhaustion, I've taken a nap. Do I gain any hit points? No. No.
No.
Right.
You need a full night's sleep to
Okay. Cool.
do that anyway.
All right. Fair enough.
But spoiler alert.
No.
No. Okay. All right.
Right, so as we leave the kitchen... Whatever are we supposed to do about Agatha? How do you suppose she will... I mean, it must...
She can learn Latin too.
About knowing the gods are gone, or that there were multiple, or that they're no longer here, or that they lost anything. I do not understand any of it myself, but I fear that it would hit Agatha harder than any of us, and if we are to stay here and learn these things, then surely it is to come out at some point.
It does not seem exactly as though Agatha cares as much about what the Bible might say anymore.
Yes, and I can see that, but I just worry it was so much of her life for so long, and well, I suppose it has to come out at some point. I just hope she's all right with it.
It should come from one of us. I can tell her, I just don't know if that's going to end up being the most tactful.
Yes. Perhaps I shall have a conversation with her when she seems a little more well. She did not look well. She seemed rather tired when we came back.
It's been a busy few days
Yes.
for you.
Yes. Shall we go back?
We'll continue on to the bedroom.
Cool. I guess we'll address this after the break. Welcome back. Ominous. So, where we left off, you just had an enlightening chat with Lucas and his lovely dog Oliver.
He's gonna kill the dog.
I would never.
The DM, not Luke.
Yeah.
He's not going to kill his own dog. Or is he?
Is it even his?
Is Lucas even Lucas? How do you know?
Maybe Oliver is a human trapped in dog form.
Maybe Oliver is Lucas.
It's given the love.
No! It's not one of our dads.
Not anymore.
Imagine if it was Harold.
And I just gave him some beef. All right, Dad, have some beef.
Blood hunter, bloodhound, same thing, right, Dad? Okay.
Anyway,
right.
sorry. We're
We'll play
professionals.
the D&Ds now.
You start making your way back to the room that Agatha is napping in.
We'll come in very quietly when we open the door and see that she's napping.
You're napping.
Mm-hmm.
It's fitful. Strange dreams.
Like what?
Just dreams of your mother.
Oh shit! What's happening in them?
She's cross with you. You're hiding in your bedroom. She's walking over the house looking for you because you haven't come down for your porridge for breakfast. Your salted porridge that's really tasty.
Mm-hmm. Is that it?
That's one of them, yeah. And then it changes, and you're walking through the woods, but the woods is dark and ominous, and it's foggy, and you're lost, and you don't want to call out for anybody. You keep looking to find your own way.
Mm-hmm.
And other things like that. Some of them you remember, some of you don't. Some of them you don't.
Cool.
I'll go and relight the candle again if it's gone out,
Mhm.
and wait for Lucas to get back.
You're smart enough not to leave candles just burning.
Yeah.
One hopes.
I guess I just sit on my bed.
Right.
Yeah. I get scared when he does that. That means something's coming.
The clock gives one of those little 1/4 dings.
Agatha wakes
I wake up.
got a buzz.
It's 2:15. No, not canon.
She's still snoozing.
What time is it?
It's 2:15.
Oh, I'm going to eat one of my beef ones. Nice beefy pastry.
So I'm sat by my candle on the floor, and after some time passes without Lucas coming back, I'm just gonna look at, because I'm my head the beds are here, and then I'm over here with the candle, and I'm just gonna not look at you actually because I can't. Thank you again for what you did. I think it really helped.
Well, if you need it again.
I always wanted to. You know, I spent so long wishing that I could redo that night and do it right and do it different. I'm sorry for everything that happened afterwards.
You didn't do anything wrong that night.
My mum was very insistent that we leave quite early. I wish there had been time to talk to you properly afterwards. I just couldn't. But it was perfect. It was. That's why it scared me. You know that, don't you? Because it was right. And it never had been before. Or since with the rest of them. I never thought I'd say that out loud.
You're the only person that I don't step on.
Well, I'm glad.
Which I think might be your fault, actually.
What?
Well, you taught me to dance like a man dances.
Well, I just wanted to practice with somebody, and I wasn't going to ask. Well, I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. I didn't want to dance with anyone else anyway.
We could have practiced the other way around, but you always seemed quite glad
Oh,
once it was
you're
over.
going to try and lead dancing?
Perhaps not.
Does their conversation wake me up?
Sure, yeah. Because
Okay.
not sleeping very well. So.
Alright, I stay awake then.
You all right, Agatha?
Yes, I've got a headache. It won't leave.
Well, it's understandable. The last few days have been quite horrendous, actually. Perhaps there is some medicine about somewhere. I expect they'd need it in a place like this. We could ask Lucas. He's to come back soon and continue with me.
That would be great.
Now that you've had your nap, make a constitution saving throw.
Bro. Well, I got +1 for that. 18.
Slay.
You do feel a bit better after the sleep.
Okay.
A bit.
A little bit. Okay. I've still got a headache, but not as bad as before. Cool. What did you get up to while I was asleep?
Lucas is going to try and teach us Latin.
Really? Oh.
He said he would. I was asking him about some things about magic, and he said that everybody here is quite secretive with each other, and that if my father was a sorcerer and Lucas and his father are wizards, that they would not necessarily have the same understanding of things. I think I should really like to hear something from somebody who does know exactly. So I asked if there were any books, and I told him that I wouldn't be able to read them if there were, and he offered.
That would be really good. Yes.
Jesus. But I think I'm getting closer. I went to the plate again, the place where I put the ring on, and nothing happened, no spell or anything, but I think that must be a sign that perhaps I'm going in the right direction. Lucas is to be back soon.
Very well.
Jonathan made lunch for us if you would like anything other than a pastry, but
I'm quite happy with a pastry.
I thought so. How much time passes without Lucas coming?
Guess maybe it's been half an hour?
Okay. I'll wait a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
In the time that I'm waiting, I'll go and get out the green cravat square and the needle and thread that I have. Would you like, do you think the sort of, the classical sort of shape, or I was thinking I could try something, well, very similar, but just a little bit less, well, you know the way that some men wear it, where it's rather large and silly. I thought I could try and make it perhaps a little bit less traditionally masculine, but I shall do it however you would like.
Yes.
All right. And I'll sit down and I'll start like folding and hemming it.
Mm-hmm.
You good?
Yeah, I had a moment. You don't suppose they'd have any books here that just for fun?
Well, perhaps it is a place that your father frequently stayed after all.
Did they frequently stay here?
Well, I don't know. I haven't asked, but I sort of presumed that while they might stay at White, they would probably have to check back in here at least if they were on business for the Returnatus custodian. We should ask when Lucas comes back.
Perhaps he's still in the kitchen.
Do you think we ought to go and check?
I'm going to.
All right, I'll come with you. Put my sewing aside.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'll get up with them.
Okay. Cool, you head back to the kitchens, to the dining area. Lucas is just sitting there, looking at his dog, stroking its ears. He hears you breathing.
Are you quite all right?
Yeah, yes, fine. Sorry, you startled me.
I'm terribly sorry. We did not mean to.
No, it's okay.
I hope you are well.
Did our fathers stay here often?
In the time that I've been here, I guess a few times.
Did they have a room that they always stayed in?
I don't know. I presume they certainly would have had use of some of the individual rooms rather than the shared ones.
And there would be no record of that anywhere that we could see where they stayed.
I don't know if they kept records of people's comings and goings.
Do you know where they might roughly be?
No, I just suppose in one of the wings with all the sort of single rooms in.
And if they're locked, I don't suppose the keys are accessible.
No, I don't know where the keys were all kept, and I haven't been able to find any.
Of course. That's quite all right.
I think people probably had keys on them, I suppose.
Well, there had to be
A master key. Yes, I was hoping the same thing. But I've looked everywhere I could think of, and nothing so far.
Where have you looked?
Everywhere. I looked in here, in the kitchens, in the lounge room. I went for as many drawers in the library as I could find. All the rooms, the bedrooms I looked in, the ones that were already open.
Well, we do not use any keys to open doors.
I can't go around breaking every door.
Why not? Nobody's using them.
I think somebody might get a bit...
Yes, perhaps that is not a good idea. Well, thank you. Perhaps the key will turn up at some point.
Yes. Hopefully.
Okay. I'll walk out, but then I'm going to start looking around for a key or for the wing with all the...
I will be joining on that.
single rooms.
Sure, make an investigation check with disadvantage for looking for the key. If there is
Not
one.
good.
14.
6.
Okay, even with
Come through,
disadvantage,
Aggie.
I got 21.
Ridiculous.
I did get a natural
Lovely.
20, yeah.
Huh. What was the other one then? Like 15 or something?
17 and 4.
Okay. Yeah, you look around, but you don't find the keys.
Oh, fair enough.
I guess they're not. Can we just look around the building to see if there looks like a wing where bedrooms would be?
Sure. It's impossible to tell.
I mean, like, I'm trying all the doors.
Yeah. Sure, I guess one of the wings. It's not a large place anyway. It's a bit sprawling the way it sort of turns around and stuff, but it all seems to be on one level, minus the stairs that take you down to that prison. Yeah, one of the wings. Every room is locked, and you suspect that might be the one with all the bedrooms that you're looking for.
I'm going to start looking through the keyholes.
Sure.
See if I can, like, see anything.
You can see black.
We're underground, bro.
No one left a candle on before they got horrifically slaughtered. Very good of them.
Is that necessary?
Was the taint necessary? And yet, here we are.
Well, if they are all dead, they certainly won't be needing a room anymore.
Well, that was my point.
Yes. I know, but I hardly thought it was correct to be talking about it in front of Lucas. I think he might have something to say, and he might go speak to somebody else who would have several things to say.
Yes.
Shall we each pick a random one and hope for the best? Or do you think they would be next to each other?
I feel like they would be next to each other.
Yes.
Are you all right?
Yes.
How many doors are there on either side?
12 in total.
So there's 6 either side.
Yeah. No, there's 8 on one side and 4 on the other. Just to annoy you.
Okay, I'm going to go to the side with the 4, and I'm going to pick one in the middle too.
Cool. Everybody roll a d12.
10.
2.
4.
Okay. All rolled even numbers. Isn't that lovely?
It is?
Okay. So you picked doors, rattled them, still
No, we
locked.
just picked one.
No, that was all. You said what? All pick a random door each.
Yeah, and then we didn't do that. I picked one.
Okay. Well, you picked 4, right?
I picked 2.
2. Cool. Second door. Rattle it. Definitely locked.
I'm going to try and open it.
Okay, you try and open it. It's locked.
Okay, I'm going to try and bust the door open.
There we go. Say it. Say what you want to do. Sure. Well, it's a door, so I feel like you don't have to roll to hit it. It's right there. So just, I guess, roll.
Roll strength.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do before.
Yeah, I
You've
forget.
made them make attack rolls on doors and windows many times.
Oh, yeah, make a strength check.
Talia's war on doors continues, finally.
I love my war on doors. It's well good.
Talia sees the door and is like, absolutely not.
Rubbish. What's my plus?
Is it more than 10?
11.
Great.
Plus
Roll
five.
damage.
Plus 3.
Plus 3.
If I'm just using my body, if it's...
Unarmed.
Unless you're saying it's an attack.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I was thinking of attacks. Yeah. Hurry up, roll damage.
Well, it's just 5. What am I rolling with then?
Do you not have like 5 plus? No.
So if I'm just using my body, if it's an unarmed strike, then it's 5 damage.
I thought there was a 1d4 for unarmed attacks, but...
I mean, I can roll a 1d4 and add 5.
Oh, whatever. Just kick the door in, it opens. Bam.
Yay!
Sure. It's a dark room, obviously. You're underground.
Yeah.
For a candle or a lantern.
Door splinters off its hinges.
I presume there are lanterns.
And
in
light.
the hallway.
Yeah, the hallway from the light spills in a sort of open area.
The hallway from the light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And a grenade explodes in your face.
It does not.
Grenades don't exist yet.
Don't they? What blew up in your face back at what do we call your?
Seven lock.
Seven lock.
Did we not give your manor a name? Was it just Sevenlock Manor?
Yeah, probably.
Cool.
That or
Anyway,
tall or something.
Yeah. Anyway. Is it the room of any of our fathers? We're going to start searching.
make an investigation check.
7.
Natural 1.
I've got disadvantage.
So-
Still.
Two.
4 add 7 is 7. No, that's not right.
11.
4 add 7 is 11.
76.
Cool. You take a look around.
Wait, what? 4 add 4? What am I doing? My plus is 4, not 7. 8.
Right, okay.
Sorry.
So
No,
you
it's Agatha that's struggling, not Morne, right?
I know.
Sorry.
okay. So you look around. The room has a few suits of clothing sort of laid over the end of the bed. There's a desk in there with some pen and paper that's like the quill is still sitting in the ink pot. Yeah, there's a handful of books to one side. There's a little chair in the corner. There's some paint. It's all nicely decorated, nice rug and stuff.
Look at the clothes.
I want to look at the books.
Cool. Yeah, you look at the clothes. They just seem to be men's clothes.
Okay, I would know if they were my dad's.
They don't seem to be your dad's, from what you know of him. On the table, there's a few books and a piece of paper with some writing on it.
Mm-hmm.
If you read it, it seems to be a sort of diary log of some sort. And it's talking about how something strange is going on. A few of the members have vanished recently.
Do I recognise the handwriting?
No. It looks like, so it's saying, people have vanished without a trace, and that this writer has been looking into it, and is he's got a lead and is heading out tomorrow, and will update later with what he discovers.
Is it dated at the top?
Sure, it's dated about 4 weeks ago.
Wow. Okay. I don't write any notes. I don't know why I'm going to write down that it was 4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
You've got that. I'm going to call you two over and ask if the handwriting looks familiar, but I don't think it's going to be any of our dads.
I presume it's not.
Pick another then. Yes, no? Okay, we'll pick.
Are you just going to kick in all 12 doors?
No, I'm going to do it so that if they're all together, I'm doing it in sections of 3. So because I've done 2, if they're all together, it's not on a 4.
Yeah.
It's not on any of the side with a 4. So I'm going to try like...
So if you kicked in 2, you've decided it's not 1, 2, or 3.
I've decided it's not 1, 3, or 4. Or 2.
Because if...
3 either side.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to kick in door number 5.
No. I want to kick in door number 7.
7. Okay. Oh, yeah, to leave a gap. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. You kick that door in 2. Off its hinges it comes. Whole thing just goes splat onto the ground this time. That was an awful racket. You can...
Oh, my God.
What?
I did my investigation with a D12.
Too late. That's on you.
No.
Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
As this door slams down to the ground, echoes throughout everywhere, you can hear some fast footsteps running. Well, not running, but like very quickly walking. And yeah, same sort of thing. The light spills into the room. You can sort of have a look around, make investigation checks with disadvantage if you're hurrying.
I'm not hurrying.
Okay.
I got another natural 1.
I got 15.
With disadvantage?
With disadvantage, 11 had 4, 15.
Cool.
I got 11.
Cool. This room contains a handful of books. Again, it looks very similar to the last one, but more messy. The bed is unmade. There are no clothes.
What books are they?
They are books on. I guess we'll just edit this out while I think about what the books could be, because I'm not good at thinking on the fly.
I just want to know if they're like...
They're like
things
history.
or, like-
Yeah, they're study books, history books. Some books about magic. Sure.
About magic or about sorcerers?
Just magic in general. The book seems to be a sort of a thesis on the nature of magic itself.
I'm going to hand it to Rosalind.
Sure.
Assuming it's in a language that we can read.
Yeah, it seems to be in English. Well, I guess it doesn't seem to be in English. It's even sure it's not. I suppose.
It either is or isn't.
It is in English, yeah. It seems to be quite a modern one.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't seem to be anything here that connects to your father's.
All right, I'm going to go to...
Well, before that happens, obviously, Jonathan walks around the corner. What on earth are you doing?
I'm going to head to door number 10.
Talia, don't you do it!
And I'm going to try and bust the door open.
Cool. The door slams off its hinges again, falls down.
Like making dead eye contact with him. Cool, what's in the room?
Make investigation. No, don't even bother. It's the same sort of thing. Just like these are just rooms that people stay in. There's nothing exciting in them. Just bits and bobs here and there. You'll recall that when you first came to London, your fathers were very much staying in White's.
Yeah, but they might have had a room here as well.
Doesn't appear. So these rooms, feel almost like they're for people to come and go, and they don't particularly feel like someone's made it their own or anything like that.
Okay.
That's enough of that. What are you looking for?
The same thing we've been looking for the whole time. They don't seem to have anything in these ones either.
You can't just go around kicking in doors wherever you please.
Who's going to stop me? You?
It's just the right thing to... It's just... It's not done.
Well, supposedly it's also not done for the firstborn of my line to be a woman, or for a sorcerer to be a woman, or for women to be allowed to do anything, but we seem to have been able to do quite a lot, actually, that's not done. So I think we're going to continue being the only people looking for our fathers.
I've told you before, I am looking for your fathers. You all need to stay and look after yourselves. Rosalind, how are things going with learning to control your abilities?
Lucas is going to continue with me soon, I think, this afternoon.
Very good. Why don't you go and find Lucas?
You know you don't have to do as he says. You can do whatever you choose.
Talia,
I'm
off you go.
sorry.
And I'll go to find Lucas.
If you ever scare her like that again, I will kill you.
Wow.
And I walk off.
I mean, I'm...
Make I suppose make an intimidation check, persuasion, deception.
Well, that's a 19 plus.
He is scared of her.
Am I allowed to use my strength? It's my
Sure, whatever.
You did punch him in the face.
22.
22. Cool. Well, he does have high wisdom, but
He's quaking.
he rolled a 9 anyway. So.
And then when you walk away, I guess I'm just left standing there for a bit. And then I go.
Agatha, you don't look well.
Rude.
I just have a bit of a headache.
So you don't think you're coming down with another recurring sickness?
I don't believe so. I felt better after I had some sleep.
Very well, perhaps I can bring you something, some sort of herbal tea. Help settle.
All right, thank you.
Very good.
I walk away.
Cool. He just sort of stands there, looking at all the busted down doors.
There's only 3 out of 12.
That's 3 more than there was. He just sort of looks around, sort of sighs. Oh. Oh dear. And walks down the hallway also.
I'm going back to the kitchen to find Lucas.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Lucas is, just sitting there, stroking his dog.
I think Jonathan would like us to continue. As long as you're well enough to...
Yes, quite well, yes. Perhaps then we see if you have opened yourself up, so to speak, to... Yeah, we could go to the room I use for spells. It's just, yes, this way, I guess.
Of course.
He leads you down to one of the other training rooms that you'd put your head into before. This is the one that has all the soot on the walls and stuff. Yes, this one we use to sort of practice spells.
Do you think my father ever trained in here?
Oh, undoubtedly so, yes. Any one of these soot patches on the walls could be from one of his spells. Very well. I suppose I can try and teach you the spell I know. My understanding is that it should be very similar. You just have to do this with your hand and...
So we'll practice, and she's making it obviously more flowery and dancey, automatically without thinking about it than it needs to be.
And then just, for me, I think of the spell, and usually have to say a few words. Usually just for this one, it's just Lux. And
Lux.
Yes. Yes, and then picture, I guess for you, picture the result in your mind, I suppose.
And it was what you did earlier, what you showed me.
Yes. So I'll step back, I suppose. Yes, it should be quite safe. It's a very simple spell, simply for creating, yes, a small flame. It's known as a cantrip. It's a very simple spell. Yes, I guess try.
All right.
Sure.
So step back a few paces, take a deep breath to account, and I try and think of the flame and like calm down everything that's going on. And yeah, I'll do the movement and I'll say it.
Sure. Roll a d20. See what happens.
19.
Cool. Okay. You do this. You think of the flame. Are your eyes closed?
Yeah.
Okay. And your hand does this thing. As the words sort of leave your mouth, you feel this warmth rise up in you, almost like, in a weird way, kind of like vomit, but not. Like the way it's coming, it comes up, it catches here. You know when you think you're about to be sick and you get that kind of swollen feeling underneath it? You get that kind of feeling, but it's also warm at the same time. And from your hand erupts this bolt of white light that shoots up into the air where you were pointing. And sort of...
I've scared myself, like I will jump back from
And
it.
bits of stone and dust and wood splinters all crackle and fall down around you.
I didn't mean to, sorry.
Lucas is on the floor.
Goodness.
Immediately drops to the ground into a sort of fetal position.
I'm sorry. I'll gently kneel beside him, but keeping
He
enough
flinches back.
distance to not. I'm just gonna try and do that slowly enough to not scare him.
And you just hear this sort of quiet whine coming out of his mouth. And then Oliver sort of comes over and sort of almost like pushes you away before going back to Lucas and sort of like snuggling around him and stuff.
I'll respect Oliver and I'll sort of shuffle back a bit on the floor, but I'm gonna stay on the floor. Lucas, it's just me. It's Rosalind and hello. It's quite all right. You're not in any danger.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh. 11.
Cool, no. You just sort of curl up in a ball, making a whining sound.
Would we have heard any of the sounds of cracking or things?
Yeah, probably. Especially because you're only... Yeah, sure, yeah. You're not that far away.
Is the door open?
No, it would have been closed.
Is there like a crack in the door?
It's just a door.
Yeah, but I want to see if I can see through without opening the door.
No. No. You can look through the keyhole, but it doesn't give you enough angle to see anything.
Okay.
I'm just going to sit on the floor quietly and wait.
Okay.
Are you with me?
I thought you would have caught up.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna head back to the room, but if this happened before I got there, then
I suppose she did something.
is it locked?
I don't know. I didn't want to disturb.
I gently pull down the handle.
Sure, yeah. Door opens.
I'm going to immediately, shush you. I'll look back at Lucas, and I'll just be like...
I slowly back out of the room. I don't know why
She killed Lucas.
I don't know why I whispered that. I slowly back out of the room. And then I whisper to Taya, let's just give them a few moments.
After about 10 or 15 minutes, the noises he's making sort of stop, and he's just sort of panting and breathing. And he starts to become more aware of his surroundings and stuff. Picks himself up. So,
Lucas, it's just me. You're okay.
I don't know what happened. I'm sorry.
I'm terribly sorry for scaring you. I didn't mean to. It's quite all right.
That was awfully, I'm terribly sorry I did that.
You've no need to
don't know what came over me. Just, sometimes recently loud noises just sort of, set me,
I understand, it's okay.
I'm just gonna, yeah, he runs out the door. And his Oliver follows him.
If he's running out, I'm going in unless you're following him out.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just looking at the ceiling and the damage.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little indent of...
I'm gonna like follow your eye line to look at whatever it is.
Yeah, sure. Roll 1d10.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a spinny top one.
6.
Cool. Yeah, there's a reasonable sized indent into the roof now, with a sort of almost like a glistening effect where the rock seems to have almost melted and reset.
I did something. I did something.
Of course you did something. Why do you sound surprised?
Because I never thought I would actually...
Remind me
I
not
did
to get on your bad side.
But I feel awful, Lucas. I don't know if he was simply not expecting it, but it scared him, and he seemed to go into some sort of shock, and I hope he's all right.
I'm sure Oliver will take care of him.
I hope so. He does not seem well. But
Do you think you could do it again?
I don't know. I don't know how I did it the first time. I could try. Just step back, both of you.
I will do that.
I will do the same thing again. I will take a breath. I will think about the flame, and I will do what he taught me.
Up at the ceiling again?
Yeah.
Sure. Roll a d20.
At a different spot, maybe?
Yes. Oh, well, 4.
Nothing happens this time.
Oh.
Well, that's all right. You've done it once.
Yes. And I'm looking from that to the soot on the walls that might be my dad's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just having a little moment. Well, I suppose that was quite a lot for one day anyway. I'll look around there, is there like a brush or like anything to sweep up the like debris on the floor?
Yeah, if you look around one of the doors there is like a door to a cupboard that has a bunch of brushes in
Okay,
there.
I will
Sure.
clean up my mess.
Sure.
I will help.
We should go, I suppose. When I did the thing, was it? You said it was like a bolt of white light. Like, is that what he showed me earlier, or was that?
It is not what he showed you.
I didn't think so.
In his hand, he was able to produce a sort of ball-sized flame, like a large candle flame that would sort of sit, almost hovering between his fingers, just sort of.
Yeah. And what I did was like a blast.
Yeah, I mean, you had your eyes closed.
Yeah.
But basically something, shot out of your hand up into the sky. Well, onto the ceiling.
Magic.
Someone's got magic.
That was Taya, that was Rosalind. Shall we Should we go back then? And I suppose we can check on Lucas a little bit later. I'll just look back one more time at the ceiling before we leave.
Jesus. I want to head towards... When we were looking around the library before, did it all look like information books?
Seem to.
Right. Have we passed any other rooms with many books in it?
I mean, so you noticed there was quite a few books presumably taken from the library that were in the various bedrooms that you broke into.
Yeah, and I was looking, were any of those just like entertainment?
No.
Nobody does any light reading in here.
Well, we could check the library again. We weren't looking specifically for that last time. Or we could find a bookshop.
We could. What time is it?
3:12.
It's 3:12.
Yeah, if people want to. What an odd day.
Quite.
All right then. So we need to head back to the bedroom to
Get reticules and things.
Sure. You do all that?
Yeah, we're going to go look for a bookshop.
Cool. You head out.
Not told Jonathan. Nope. Left. Nope.
And yeah, it's not too long before you find yourself back on Fleet Street again. A street known for its publishing. Your father's offices, of course, are there. And his printing stuff. But yeah, you...
So a very famous barber on Fleet Street.
There was not, actually.
No, and it's fictional.
Unlike ours, which definitely happened.
Yeah, Agatha Pentacles was a real historical figure.
So we're going to a bookshop then.
Okay.
But first, you're stopping in the publishing house.
Yes.
Gilbert and Sullivan's.
That's... And I point out the publishing house.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we go back?
Where? Sorry?
So,
When we came to Temple the first
Yes.
time we visited here.
and you obviously
Yeah.
see that it's got Gilbert's name on it.
Oh, yes, of course. He can be trusted to keep our whereabouts secret, yes?
I suppose so.
Well, I suppose there's nobody he would write to with Jonathan being here, and yes, for all he knows, we are simply here on some proper business, without a chaperone. But that's okay. We can say somebody is waiting outside for us.
We can say that Benjamin is parking the carriage somewhere.
Yes.
And we'll head towards them.
Sure. You just let yourself in?
I'll knock first, and then if nobody answers, I'll let myself in.
Yeah, you knock and you wait. How long do you wait?
Like a minute.
A minute. Okay, if you're waiting a minute, when you open the door, you could see this little older man making his way down the corridor towards you. Ah, Talia Bonton. You treat me again to a second visit?
Would he recognise her?
She has long hair again.
Oh shit, yeah, you do. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, nobody else knows that because I forgot to mention it in-game, but yeah. When Talia came back out of her imaginary dream world, she came out exactly as she was in, as you all did, including long hair.
Yep.
Don't make me put the wig back on. I am, however, in trousers.
But he's very well aware of your peculiarities, so he'll mention nothing of it, plus it's not polite to do. And it's Miss Agatha Pentecost, is it not?
That's right.
And may I have your acquaintance, if I may be so bold?
Of course, Miss Rosalind Penhallow.
Penhallow, Pentecost, and... Bronton. Just long COVID.
The one he would know the most.
Yes. Oh.
Charles
Altogether.
Adams canonically has long COVID. Was he?
He was the first case of COVID.
He's very, very old.
200 years ago.
I don't think I've made this clear enough. He's very old, his memory is very bad, so he doesn't remember his boss's last name sometimes.
Quite all right.
He was just flustered. Yes, a little flustered. Yes, come in. Perhaps I can sort you out some tea.
That would be very kind of you.
Wonderful. Please, I suppose, come into the office, I suppose. Not mine, just the meeting room. We have one, this way, this door here. He opens it up, leads you into a sort of, a very well-lit room at the front of the building, with sort of the big windows, but a large oak table, sort of long, with like 8 seats around it. Please sit here. I'll just give me a few moments to see if I can rustle something up for us.
Thank you so much.
Quite all right. Steps out backwards with a little bow.
Is there anything else in the room?
It's pretty empty. It's there's sure there's like a drinks cabinet in one corner. With glasses, like little sherry glasses and stuff like that. Seems to be a sort of writing desk with lots of ink and pens and that sort of, I guess not pens, but like quills. Yeah, generally speaking, it's a fairly empty room. And if you look out the window, you could just see traffic go back and forth. People, horses, carts. Wagons.
I'm just going to wait for him to get back.
Wheelbarrows stacked full of newspapers. Five minutes later, of you guys just sitting in silence, he comes in himself with a little tray. My secretary seems to be out for a late lunch at the moment, so I just hop with this together myself. It should be fine. And he pops it down on the table.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
It's quite all right. May I sit down? Wonderful. So what brings you back today? A tour? Wonderful.
I don't know if these two would be quite as enthused by it as I might.
Well, I would be very interested.
That's quite right. We're one of the major printing presses in London. We have machines and it's all very fascinating. The way we bind our books together with horse glue and modern technology. I can't imagine anyone wouldn't be fascinated with a tour. And so we commence a tour of the printing house for no reason other than my players are making me do it, and I don't understand why.
You don't have to say anything. We can just go on the tour.
Yeah.
No.
But it's the same as when she went on a tour.
That's true. You didn't really make up stuff.
Okay, so he takes you out the back into a sort of large warehouse sort of area that's tall vaulted ceilings. Well, I guess they're not vaulted, but, very tall ceilings. And there's lots of men just working, very busy, doing, I don't know how they made books back then, but they're making books, binding them all together, machinery just all hand-powered mostly.
I know how to make books.
Ooh. Mind your own business.
I was going to say, would you like some help describing?
No,
Okay.
So you enjoy your tour of the printing press.
How long does it go on for?
2 hours.
Jesus.
2 hours, in-depth discussions. He talks about the different types of paper that they use and how that affects different things, blah, blah, blah.
It might be the one and only time that they've ever seen Talia listen to a man that's not her father and like genuinely be interested in what he's saying.
He is especially fond of the sort of the various like typesets, sort of different styles of lettering that can be used. And he's talking you through 2 identical ones, but like they're not identical to him. He's talking you through the differences.
Can I tell the difference?
Roll a perception check.
My perception is awful.
I reckon Aggie can
0.
tell the difference.
10.
Yeah, I can tell the difference.
What did you get?
19.
Yeah. You know there's a difference because he says there is, but you can't see it yourself.
Okay.
I try to show you what the difference is.
Cool.
He mentions kerning a lot. Mm-hmm. And I guess then that would be the end of our tour.
Thank you so much. We've all enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you.
You are most welcome. I'm sorry I kept you so long. It's got dark out.
It's quite all right.
Yes.
We shall just have to hurry back.
It has been a delight. If you see your father, tell him that I said hello. It's weird because I'm his employee, but yes.
Are there any books in his office that are stories? That
Storybooks? Oh, yes, I imagine so. I think I've got his key on me. We can go and have a quick look.
Just quickly.
Of course.
Okay, this way. And yeah, he leads you off to your father's office, which I feel like is upstairs. It's on the 2nd floor.
Okay. I thought it was the first door.
Yeah, we've already been in there before.
Yeah, you're right. But that's the meeting. You know what? Yeah, the meeting room was on the other side, on the not the left. It was on. I said it was on the right. It was on the left. Yeah. So you go to the front office, and yeah, in you go. It's very messy. Yes, I think he's got a stack over here. Yes, of various sort of. I mean, I think most of them are children's books, but there's a couple here of sort of myths and legends of the English countryside. And they're just they're a collection of stories. He had me procure that one myself. He was very fascinated with myths and legends. I said was, obviously is. Obviously is. That's not a little clue to pick up on there. That was a slip of the tongue. I didn't murder your father, obviously. Not canon. Anyway, yes, this book. It's a anthology of various collected stories.
I'm just gonna is he holding them?
Sure, yeah.
I'm just sort of gonna try and take them.
Yes, here you go. He lifts them up and puts them in your hands because he's so small.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, you're more than welcome. They're only sitting here gathering dust until he returns. I'm sure he won't mind.
We'll see you again sometime.
Oh yes, do pop in. It's always a delight. And thank you for letting me talk on and on.
It was ever so fascinating.
I do know an awful lot, I guess, about pressing and printing.
Well, we should be off.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you again so much.
Are you sure you don't need to be accompanied anywhere?
We've got someone waiting around.
Yes, there'll be a carriage outside for us.
Oh, wonderful. The streets are, of course, well lit in London around here anyway, so... But yes, one should always be prepared. I never walk anywhere without my cane. Don't want to have to use it, but you know I will. And they won't know what hit them.
Would it be your cane?
It would be my cane, you're right, yes. It was your father insisted on me learning how to use it defensively, but he does worry about people's protections in London. Anyway, me talking like this is gonna worry you sick. Of course, it will be safe. You have your carriage man. The smoker, wasn't it?
Yes,
Filthy
Benjamin.
habit. Filthy habit. You tell him I said, not around you girls.
Yes.
Otherwise he'll get the cane.
All right.
Obviously this is an imaginary cane. It's by the door, but yes. Very well, very well.
Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening.
And we'll head off. Oh, I so wanted that cane. I'm going to put the books in a
nick it,
bag.
it's on
I'm
the
not
door.
nicking his cane.
Steal an old man's cane.
Not Charles Adams's cane.
We better hurry back. How dark is it? Is it fully dark? I'm really scared.
Well,
I don't think-
We said that the sun went down at 8 o'clock last
It's only going to
episode.
be around 5 p.m. now. Maybe 6.
Maybe 6 at a push. It's like...
Turns out you were so fascinated with this tour that it's like 7:30.
So it's still not fully dark. It's
Getting
like
dark,
almost
though.
dark.
The sun is about to disappear under the rooftops of London.
All right, quickly then.
We walk very fast.
Power walk.
Who wants to roll a d20?
Morne.
12.
Everyone make a perception check.
Perception's it. 19!
5.
13.
Good thing I got that tune now and not.
On a 13, everything just seems fine to you. Weirdly, on a 5 and a 19, you can hear every noise as you're walking down the streets, and you're very nervous. On a 5, you can hear footsteps following behind. You look around, there's no one there. You hear a dog howl. You think it's a dog howling from down an alleyway. And you can hear little screechy, squeaking sounds from different things.
If it's for hearing, then I get advantage.
Sure, roll with advantage.
It's not going to be higher than 19. Natural 20!
Oh, okay, fine. I guess it is then.
That was so good. You
That
remembered
was so
that.
good. For hearing or smells.
On a natural 20, as you are walking through the darkening street.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, you had to roll twice. Did you not roll twice before?
No, I didn't, and now I have, and it's a 1.
That's even better. It's still weird though that you both hear the same things. Yeah, on your natural 20. As you're walking along the streets and you're stepping over or around one of these sort of access hatches to the understreet coal and sewage systems and stuff. You don't know which one it is. You could swear you heard. It was probably people. And on your natural 1, everywhere you hear sounds. Just like they could be.
Well, it's a natural 1, but add 3, so it's 4.
It's still a natural 1.
Okay. Right.
But yeah,
I sort of let them know that, but just keep moving.
sure. Maybe pick up your pace a little.
Yeah.
We'll move as fast as we can.
That's not quite running yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How far away, like how long is the walk? It's not far, is it?
It's not. It's a few blocks, really. Yeah. And as you make your way back, briskly walking, the sun, racing the sun, that's where we end it.
Fuck you, I knew you were going to do that.